Everyone here has had a birthday, right? Now, I don't know about you, but the best thing about a birthday for me is always the cake. A good one can really make your day. A bad one, it's a little disappointing. On my birthday a few years ago, I received an unexpected gift. A redundancy notice. Not quite the flavour of cake I had in mind. I was disappointed. The letter had landed. My role, along with my team's, was no longer required. And after a busy, stressful few years working and raising a young family, I decided that the redeployment option was not for me and that I would take the redundancy. We live in a world that ties our identity so closely to our jobs that when work falls away due to a redundancy, a layoff, a business closure or a health issue, we're left asking, well, who am I now? And the world doesn't wait. It tells you to apply, upskill, hustle. But what if that's the wrong approach? What if, in the mess of uncertainty, we don't need a fix, we need space? After that, I launched a consulting business because, well, cash flow. But I knew I was depleted, so I did something that felt wildly unproductive. I painted. I enrolled in a local landscape painting course with a friend. We painted, we laughed, we made somewhat questionable art. We didn't take ourselves too seriously. But that class cracked something open. It reminded me how much I love creating. And soon I found myself at my kitchen table with my paints and my children's art supplies. Just playing around with colour on a page. Just me, 10 minutes, and my breath. And here's what I discovered. You see, I thought I needed space to be creative. But what actually happened was the creative process gave me the space I so desperately needed. It wasn't just self-expression. It was restoration. It gave me the room to feel, to breathe, and to begin again. Microdoses of creativity, just 10 minutes a day, can help you navigate uncertainty. You don't need a big plan or expensive art supplies. You don't even really need to know what you're doing. Because it's not about making art, that's a bonus. It's about making space. Microdoses of creativity calm the nervous system, lowering the volume on the outside world so that we can really hear what's happening inside. And in a world that constantly seems to value perfection, the creative process reminds us of the beauty of imperfection, that we, as imperfect humans, creating imperfect art, hold the answers within ourselves. When we allow ourselves time for reflection, we stop waiting for the answers to come from out there and begin to trust what's already within here. Of course, this is not a new concept. Plenty of people have studied creativity and happiness. One of them was Professor Csikszentmihalyi. He was a psychologist who named the concept of getting in the flow, describing it as being completely involved in an activity for its own sake. You see, some days I found that 10 minutes allowed me to get in the flow. I started writing, creating a resource for others who found themselves in that space in the middle, following a redundancy or a layoff. And in writing it, I realised it wasn't just a record for others to heal, it was my healing. That's the quiet magic of creativity. You start off trying to make sense of your past, and in the end, you shape your future. You see, creativity is not about being good. It's about being willing to have a go and to think differently. You start off with an idea and you begin. You layer, you pause. Some days you get in the flow. And then you step back. It doesn't turn out the way you thought it would. It never does. It turns out better because you created it. You were the one who took the time to create something new. In a world where so much can feel outside of our control, the creative process reminds us we still get to shape something. It's no grand reinvention, it's a micro-turn, a tiny act of self-trust. So here's my invitation to you all. Gift yourselves 10 minutes of creativity a day. Write, cook, paint, garden, sing, whatever you're interested in. Don't wait for the space to appear. Let the creative process create the space. Because in a world obsessed with perfection, your imperfect, intuitive self already holds the answer. Some days, you just need a microdose of creativity to listen.